in the 13th chapter of Luke, you have an account of Jesus healing a woman who was bent double. So for 18 years, she was in this condition where she was bent double, where she could not stand up straight at all. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. And it says, when Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. You can compare this time that we're living in to a woman who's bent double. When you're bent double, the head and the feet are on the same level. The head and the tail, the top and the bottom. You become double-minded. The 18 years is significant because it's a mystical number, being 9, the psychic number, dealing with the third eye and the crown, but the crown being more so 10, but the third eye being 9, the insight. This was bent over. This was bent double. Both the top and bottom, both the light and dark aspects were made to face each other so as to clash rather than to be straightened out to move the entire being forward. This woman was bent double for 18 years, 9. So this age we're in is bent double, being double-minded. And the scriptures also say a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you're dealing with instability when you're bent double for 18 years. When you're bent double under the 9. When you're bent double psychically, psychologically. But here's how you fix it. You have to see it, because this is what Jesus did. We're using this as a template, as a formula to cure this condition of this age that we're in. So whoever you are, whatever your walk of life is, just use this as a formula, as a blueprint. Whether the story is true or not has nothing to do with the power that you get out of the passage. So the first thing you have to do is see this polarized condition where duality clashes rather than aims in the same direction. You're running into yourself. You're chasing your tail. You're bent double. We're bent double. This age that we're in is bent double. So the first thing you do is you see it. Jesus saw her. And remember, in that time, the J's, there were no J's. So he's us, saw her. He called her forward. That's the next thing you have to do. You have to call your duality, your polarity, you have to call it forward in one direction. And this means you have to have a particular aim. You have to have an intention, a singular intention. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to achieve peace? Well, this is you calling the woman who is bent double forward after you've seen her. You're calling her forward. You're calling your duality. You're calling your contradictions forward. You're calling yourself on the carpet. You're calling out all of the times where you're wish-washy. You're doing a self-examination, really. And so he says, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." It's important that he says woman, and I don't want you to look at this in a sexist way, because we know that woman in mystical language means receiving. So he says the receiving part of you, you are set free from your what? Infirmity, your sickness, receptivity, subjectivity, subconscious mind, heart, emotion. You are set free from your sickness. You are set free from your plague, the thing that brings you anguish. You are set free from being double. You are set free from chasing your tail. You are set free from not being able to stand up straight, from your total being not being able to go in one direction. See, when you're trying to go forward and you're bent double, you're always looking back, even when you're trying to go forward, because you're facing your feet. And if you're bent all the way double, then you're really looking behind you through your legs. So even if you're trying to go ahead in life, you're still forced to look at your past because you're bent double. So this is how you fix it. You have to call it forward in one direction. And you have to tell yourself that you are set free from this. But the part of you that receives. So that's the same thing as saying you reject a belief that doesn't serve you. Because you're saying woman, which means heart, which means receiving part of me. You are set free from this sickness where you're no longer believing in yourself, where you keep doubting yourself, where you keep going back on your word because you don't trust yourself, because you don't think you'll make it. You're calling yourself forward. Then he put his hands on her. The hands symbolize the deeds. That symbolizes the physical touch. You're putting hands on something. You can only put hands on something that is tangible. So now you're bringing this thing into the physical world. Physical results will follow when you're no longer bent double for 18 years, which is psychically. The results of this mental alchemy will be seen physically. He will put hands on you. It will be tangible. Your loved ones, your friends, your relatives, they'll see it. They'll be able to give you, the new you, a hug, a real hug. They'll be able to put their hands. The new person that you're going to make a business deal with, you'll be shaking hands with. They'll be able to, it'll be tangible. And immediately she straightened up and praised God. So she brought glory to what? All power, absolute power. She brought the idea of absolute power, praise. She validated the idea of an all-powerful force. This is what it means to praise God in a mystical sense. She immediately what? Straightened up. But it happened, after a few stages. See, when we're crooked and bent double, the problem with it is because we can't see, because we're so disoriented from the contraption and configuration that we're in, we can't see how to straighten up. But these stages of first seeing it, calling it forward, telling it that it's free, and then putting deeds to it is how you straighten up. So you see the hands-on part comes last, where people can see it, where you're actually doing deeds behind it. That part comes last, because by the time you decide to do something, immediately you'll straighten up. Immediately we'll straighten up. The moment we decide to put hands on this, we'll straighten up and heal our double condition. And we'll embrace duality properly, not polarized, but unified. So again, this is Super T Sigma, a Sigma programming. I thank you for your time and attention. Reaching is teaching. Continue to vibrate high, people. Peace.